This is my review of the Rising the Shield Hero episode 12. So, right off the bat, I noticed a few interesting things. The other heroes were called his servants, he rescued a princess, and he told the current king to bow down to him. Those all feel like criteria to become the next king to me. I mean, seriously, once Mifumi reveals the evil plot behind mine and the current king and has Melty and the queen on his side, I think there's a very good chance he could end up becoming the new king of this world. I mean, I'm sure the demi-humans would be all for that, plus all of the various people he saved since coming to this world. He fed an entire village of refugees, he cured an entire town from man-eating plants, he's saved dozens of people through his super powerful medicine. I think they would be very much up for having him become their next king. And he clearly cares more about the people than the current regime does. But yeah, that's just a thought of mine. So let's get into the actual episode. So first things first, Sword Hero is continuing to tick me off. Like, really? Here in the beginning, he said, "How overpowered can you be?" It's not just that he's complaining that she's powerful, he's calling her overpowered. Like in last episode, how he called the Shield Hero a cheat. He's saying it's basically unfair that you're this powerful, which just really annoys me because he's still in the mindset this is a game and now the developers aren't being fair to him by making the challenges too hard. He really needs to realize that this isn't a game, this isn't a fair world. Shield Hero realized that just a few days after he showed up, that this world is unfair and cruel and horrible to basically everyone except those in the top. Alright, so then Glass. We don't know much about her except that her level is unknown, like the dragon zombie was in the past. Which can mean she's just 10 or 20 levels above, or it could mean that her level is just so high that he literally is unable to process it properly. But then she said what was probably my second favorite line in the entire episode. "Why don't you just send your servants at me?" And at first I thought she was referring to Raph and Philo, but no, she was referring to the sword, bow, and spear hero as his servants. I mean, I just love that. I mean, it makes sense considering they are so much weaker than he is, but still, just, oh my god. I theorized last week that I thought it'd be possible that down the road in the next wave, less likely now, that Nifumi would end up leading the other heroes, plotting, strategizing with them, explaining them what they should do next, because they really lack any, actual skill or knowledge of what to do. I mean, here we got another excellent example. All three of them fire meteor-based shots at the enemy. You don't do that. You use different elements to find out what their weakness is, find out what attack's probably the most effective. And yet they're all using the same attack again. It's ridiculous. If Nifumi was in charge, he could have led them better. He probably could have even defeated Glass with their help. I mean, maybe. Okay, probably not, but that's still, they would have had a much better chance if Nifumi was leading them in a coordinated strike that was better set up to find her weakness and exploit it. I love just Nifumi was so casual about stealing the soul-soothing potion from the sword hero. It fell in his pocket, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll take this." I mean, I'm sure he could pay him back. He has a couple dozen potions of his own, but still. Anyway, then he tries to lock her up in the shield prison, and I'm fairly certain she's the first person to ever break out of that, so that's impressive. And then we see Viper Shield. I don't remember seeing this before. We might have, but that has a really badass shield. It's literally snakes coming out of it. I mean, seriously, that is freaking awesome. I love that. But it has no effect on her whatsoever. And even with the snakes biting her, she has no problem blocking every one of Philo's light speed attacks, which just insane. But for Raph, though, apparently her attack wasn't even worthy of mention. Which, I mean, when you're claiming yourself to be the Shield Hero's sword, if your attack isn't even worthy of the enemy mentioning it, then that's pretty bad. I mean, I think I said last episode, Raph was all upset about her being so weak, and I think this is going to lead to her trying to do something crazy or ridiculous in order to get stronger in some way. I mean, she got a new magic sword this episode. Maybe that'll help. Anyway. So then he decides to use Rage Mode again, and I really love that he has to get Raph's permission to use it. She has to say, yes, you can do it, before he'll actually try and use it. Definitely makes her more useful right now, because she's the only one that can control his rage and anger, so she's basically the key to unlocking his best power. Without it, he can still use it, but there's no stopping him. We also got a dragon zombie, Philo, which I know she's supposed to be scary, but I just find her absolutely freaking adorable. But even with the Rage of Flames and the dragon zombie Philo, she's not affected whatsoever. Even saying, your flame is too cold to burn me. I mean, seriously. Glass then uses a tortoise shell breaker, which is literally an attack meant to break through shields, and even manages to cut through his rage shield and break the armor on his arm, which is certainly interesting. I mean, the shield regenerates immediately, but that's still an attack he has to be wary of in the future. Glass then admonishes him, saying his dark flames only work when he's right next to the person, which is true. The snake shield was certainly useful at attacking enemies that are a little bit further away, but he really has no means of attacking anyone unless they're within a good 20 feet of him. Not sure at the range on the whole Iron Maiden thing. We'll have to see how that is further used, but here she basically just knocked it away like it was absolutely nothing, which, yeah, terrifying. Though, for some reason, this did seem to start a timer, or a timer started around here. I'm not sure why, but it seems like there was a limit to how long she could be here, how long she could fight. I mean, the waves seem to go until the boss is defeated, so maybe the Dimensional Soul Eater was the boss, and now that it's gone, she's on a clock. I also just love that he basically runs away. All of the other heroes and their party are still on the ship, and he just runs away, basically leaving them for dead. That was really cold. The ship even crashes. I'm sure they were not all okay after that. But we do get a very interesting line from Glass where she says, remember that we shall be the ones to emerge triumphant from the waves. I theorized before that the waves were like the zombies and corpses of all the people the kingdom has killed over the years who are coming back for revenge. But now I'm wondering it's like a whole separate dimension and the two are in a war and only one of them can survive. If anyone remembers Fringe, that they did something similar to that where they had to fight to decide which dimension would live and which would die. When they managed to, I mean, they did eventually manage to compromise, but not before a lot of people died. Alright, so then the wave is over, and we get to see Shield Hero giving out potions and all that good stuff, making sure people are okay. Gran is playing with a bunch of kids, maybe her grandkids. I mean, she literally just saved the village. She deserves all their love and respect. And the Shield Hero unlocked a new shield. Soul Eater shields. Okay, I have so many questions on that. I mean, we didn't really see much soul eating from the Soul Eater, but that doesn't mean that's not what his shield could do. I mean, it's entirely possible that this is a shield that let him, like, absorb health and energy from those around him. He had to take a potion to refill his SP gauge earlier on, so if he can just start absorbing it from the enemies or from his allies around him, that'd certainly be useful. Or it might be some kind of teleportation spell allowing him to move around instantly. Though if that were the case, I don't think you'd have to take the carriage to the shield freedom. Also interesting that even though this enemy was so powerful and strong, it's not saying that the ability is above him. Like when he unlocked the dragon zombie shield, it said he wasn't high enough level to use it. So then the captain shows up and basically demands that he go and talk to the king. And for whatever reason, I'm still not sure why, one of his guards, member of his party, basically just begged and pleaded him, please go talk with the king, please, I beg you, I beg you. I really have no idea why. And I think if he knew how things would turn out, he would not have been on board with that. So then we get to the meeting with the king, and he basically says, oh, you did well to quell the wave, though I hate to admit it. I mean, seriously. He's actually annoyed that the Shield Hero did so well in fighting the wave. He's annoyed that the Shield Hero saved his kingdom. And then we get to the scene that pisses me off more than anything else in this entire episode. You possess power unbecoming of the shield hero. It is your duty to reveal the secret behind it. Now it might be a little weird why I think this is the most annoying scene, but I felt for a long time, at least since the duel between the shield hero and the spirit hero, that the reason they hate the shield hero, the reason everyone's so disgusted with him and despises him, is because they're aware of this dark, horrific power inside of him, and they're afraid he's going to lose control, or they want him to lose control. Like there's a secret cult that's out there trying to get him to destroy the world or something, and they've been just so afraid of this power, so obsessed with obtaining this power, that they're just keep pushing him down and making him miserable. That is not the case! They just hate him because he's the shield hero. That's literally their only reason for going after him. Their only reason for being this horrific to him. They don't know about this power. They don't know how absolutely terrifying he is. I just want him to say, oh yeah, the power gets stronger the more pissed I am, so keep making me mad and I'll burn this entire frickin' kingdom to the ground. Well, that's what I wanted him to say, but what we got was almost as good. Oh, okay, what we got was absolutely freaking amazing. If you want to know so badly, kneel before me. He told the freaking king to kneel before him. He told the king to grovel at his feet if he wanted to know. Jesus freaking Christ! Can you imagine the balls it takes to tell the king in his own throne room, in front of his own guards, beg for me, get on your hands and knees and grovel at my feet. I mean, seriously, this is absolutely freaking amazing. I think it was a bad idea, but it was absolutely freaking amazing. I mean, I think at this point the shield hero has reached a level and skill that is above basically all the guards, even all the guards put together. I mean, I'm sure the other heroes could show up and stop him, but right now, if you're just in a battle between him and the guards, he could kill all of them and the king and walk out. He even says that. As I am now, I could kill you here and walk out the front door if I wanted. He's literally saying that he is more powerful than the freaking king, and I absolutely love it. All hail King Shield Hero! I mean, seriously. They know it. I mean, the guards are basically just, they all have their swords and they're pissed, and he's like, do any of you think you can actually take me? Do any of you think you could actually take me? And they look back and forth, they're like, oh, damn, are we about to die? They don't want to fight him. They're terrified of him. I mean, on one hand, he has earned the right to be this mad. He's attained necessary power to just say this to the king and be able to walk out okay, but it definitely made him some more enemies. I mean, he definitely could have, I know he doesn't like the king, but he could have found a way through the situation that didn't further endanger his party, though. We then have him pretty much confirm the safety of his party 100%. When the king gets all pathetic and says, alright, then I'm gonna go after your slaves because of this. They'll pay. I mean, he's obviously flustered. He's obviously nervous. He's actually terrified in this whole scene. But then, after he threatens the slaves, Shield Hero becomes so filled with rage, so filled with hatred, the king can actually feel it. He's taken aback. He's shocked. He's terrified. He probably wet himself a little. And he basically says, if you dare lay a finger on anyone in my party, I will hunt you to the ends of the earth and make you regret ever being born. Yeah, that's a direct threat against the king in his own throne room, surrounded by his own guards. I freaking love you, Shield Hero! Okay, so then moving on. This next scene was weird. I had to watch it a few times. I thought this woman gave him the charm at first. Then I realized she took it back with her, and I'm not really sure what it was supposed to mean, or it looks like a spear. It might have something to do with the church, the religion, or the queen. I mean, this is Melty's servant, so it makes sense if it's something to do with the queen, but I'm just not really sure what her goal is. Was she trying to hypnotize the shield hero, get him to do something crazy or stupid or something? I'm really not sure. Virtuous on the surface, conniving and conspiring behind the scenes. I'm assuming that's in relation to mine or the king. How they really are. They appear virtuous, but they're really conspiring and evil. And then she just walks away, which... so many questions about that. Alright, and then we see the king again, and... Jesus freaking Christ, he is pathetic. I mean, look at him! I know a lot of people should hate the king, have hated the king, and for a good reason, but... I don't hate him as much after this episode. Honestly, I feel sorry for him. I mean, we see here that he does have good qualities. I mean, he gets mad and yells at his daughter. He feels so sorry about it. He goes, "Oh, no, I'm not angry at you. I'm sorry. And then we get the weirdest line in the entire episode. If I let him and the demi-humans do as they please, I'll yet again lose my family. What the fuck is he talking about? I mean, seriously, what the fuck is he talking about? Is he referring to his queen? Is that what he meant by losing his family? Or did he lose other members before? Did he have a brother or sister or someone else, or his parents maybe, who were killed by demi-humans? And now he hates them because the last shield hero was the protector of the demi-humans and they're gonna try to get equal rights with him? I really don't know, but this line made me think that maybe he's being blackmailed or threatened. Like, we know the queen is being held hostage somewhere, so it might be the case that they're threatening, maybe even mine was involved in kidnapping the queen, I don't know, that's entirely possible. But it might be they're threatening to kill her if the king doesn't, knock the shield hero down, do horrible, mean things to him, or doesn't keep demi-humans in their place, and he's afraid of the queen being killed. And then, oh my god, we got adorable Melty. I appreciate your concern, but this is none of your business. I mean, oh my god. I've literally never even seen the shield hero get mine that upset before. I mean, really? And then we just have the king trying to keep peace between them, but mine stops him, which makes me wonder if maybe mine is the real ruler of this land. Maybe she's actually in control, like manipulating her father, or just straight up threatening her own mother in order to get him to do what she wants. Then we get another interesting scene as Melty meets with the servant who talked to the shield hero. We see a soldier in the corner eavesdropping on them. I'm assuming this has a lot to do with how the episode ended. And from there we move on to the destination. Shield Frieden. This literally has shield in their name. I'm going to get back to that. I have a lot I want to talk about that, but first, let's talk about Siltvelt, a kingdom where they get pretty extreme about demi-human supremacy. Which, yes, that makes a lot of sense. Demi-humans are literally superior to humans. I mean, I know we haven't seen, extreme intelligence from Raph or Philo, but given that Raph's only about 10 years old and Philo's maybe 2 months old, they are genius-level intellects. Plus, add on to that the just ridiculous amount of physical abilities that they have. I mean, Raph was able to hear the attack coming and warn the shield hero. Others are superhumanly strong, other abilities, other powers, plus they're way cuter. I mean, they are just the superior species, and anyone who thinks the demi-human shouldn't reign supreme is an idiot. But then we get another very interesting line, though it's cut off. Boss is saying, but as the shield hero. He was about to say something very important about shield freedom, or maybe the demi-humans. We've heard from Raph's parents that the shield hero protected and was beloved by the demi-humans in the past, though we haven't actually met any other demi-humans since then. I'm very curious to see if when they do finally get to this kingdom, they'll just worship Shield Hero. They treat him as a god. They'll make him the new king of Shield Frieden or something. I feel like he was about to say something really important here, but Philo cut him off. And anyway, then they're right on their trip. Next scene, that was very impressive. I wasn't expecting them to leave quite so quickly, but I'm glad they did because it gave us an amazing ending. Anyway, as they're traveling, they realize that the boss left them a few gifts. Shield Hero got a shield analyzer. I'm not really sure what this is going to do. I'm very curious, though. I mean, it might just give him a better idea of what his new shields are when he unlocks them. Or it might be able to... I really don't know. This is a weird item, and I'm very curious to see what it'll actually end up doing. Raph got a copy of her sword that she broke, and a mana sword, which is literally a freaking lightsaber, a sword that she fills with her own mana and then becomes an actual blade, though she and Nifumi don't actually seem to understand that right now. I mean, he loved video games and manga in his own world. He should understand how to use a mana sword. And then a pair of gloves that will increase a person's strength tenfold, so, okay. The plan was for Nifumi to use those to pull the card if anything ever happens to Philo, but they just give him to Philo, here, use them. And I have a lot of questions about what those are actually going to do to her. or if she'll be able to hold on to them when she transforms. But that could definitely be interesting if, like, in the next scene, she ends up punching a soldier and he flies 200 feet away while in her little girl form. Anyway, then the shield hero is sitting there thinking, wow, I love traveling so much. I don't have to deal with the other heroes or royalty or... Oh, there's Melty. She found me. And she basically says, I demand you return and make peace with my father. And he says, I refuse. And then we really see her as the little girl, as the little royal brat she is. I know in the past it's been a little hard to understand her, but here we really see, yeah, she's the little girl, a little annoying brat who really doesn't understand how anything works. Even saying, you would be lost without the king's financial support. You don't know shit, Melty. I mean, you really don't know shit. The king gave him 500 silver, begrudgingly. He's made that back 10 times over, working as a trader. So, yeah. And then she has a little temper tantrum, even saying the shield hero and her father are so alike, which surprises all three of them. Otherwise, Mother will yell at him. Seriously, she's basically saying, go make up with my father or Mommy and Daddy will fight, and I don't want to see them fight. I mean, really? Seriously? She's just such a little brat, such a child that... I know we saw that earlier when she traveled with them, but this is just really showing what a child she is. And then the shield hero Spidey sense pops in as he's looking at these soldiers and realizes, this is a setup. Something's definitely not right here. I mean, let's just take a minute to look at these faces. I mean, the guy in the middle holding the... I'm guessing it's a crystal orb that's supposed to record this event so we can edit it together and frame the shield hero. I mean, he looks almost happy. That's almost a smile on his face. I mean, the rest of them seem to have some other levels of just emotionless to him, but the guys in the back actually look almost sad about what's about to happen. They look like they're about to cry, honestly. Anyway, so then as shield hero is watching them, he can tell something's up by their expressions or just a sixth sense that he's developed after being betrayed over and over again. And that's when he notices one of the soldiers is running up to Melty and about to kill her, and it looks like shield hero actually hesitates on what to do for a second. He's like, I could save her, but she is a royal. But at the same time, if I let her die, then Philo's gonna be mad and the whole kingdom's gonna think I killed her. I might as well save her. She's just amazingly oblivious to this whole thing. I mean, seriously, she's still talking to him about returning the capital while someone's coming up to stab her in the back. And I mean, if you watch the scene, you can see she's actually outraged. The shield hero grabs her arm and has no idea she's about to be stabbed in the freaking back by one of her own soldiers. So I think it's fairly obvious that the king had absolutely nothing to do with any of this, and it was all mine. Mine told the soldiers to kill her and frame the shield hero, and that she would reward them greatly if they did. So yeah, Mine tried to have her own sister killed, not only to get rid of the shield hero, but to take the throne for herself. And I mean, that takes a lot. And it's not only that she's just so willing to kill her own sister to get what she wants, but going after the shield hero like this, I mean, it's been said repeatedly that all 4 heroes are needed to end the waves. So she wasn't just killing her own sister, but risking the life of every single person in her kingdom. I mean, really, that's dark and cold. You know, I'm wondering if this might actually been for the best. I know that might seem like a weird and dark thing to say, but it got Melty on his side. I mean, he might not trust her completely, you know. Just because her sister tried to have her killed doesn't mean she's a good person. For all he knows, these two have been trying to kill each other back and forth for years now, but it's definitely gonna get him to take Melty with him. I know that, because he can't return her to the kingdom, or they'll basically just say, oh, you brainwashed her, you kidnapped her, you did unspeakable things to her, I don't care what she says, let's just kill him now. Or on their way there, the guards will attack them and she'll get killed in the crossfire, or something will happen where it just isn't feasible for him to bring her back to the kingdom, so instead they have to leave. Maybe they'll go try to save her mother. That could be helpful if he has the word of the queen and the princess on his side. People won't just say, oh, he must have brainwashed them. They'll say, oh, he might be right about this. I certainly don't think Mine is going to be happy that her sister is still alive. Though it is interesting that they waited until she was with the shield hero to kill her. I'm guessing they were recording it with the magic orb they had, and were planning on somehow editing the footage to make it look like the shield hero killed her. So I'm going to assume they can still edit the footage now and make it look like the shield hero just kidnapped her. I'm sure he's going to threaten the soldiers if any of them, don't flee right away, and threaten to have Philo eat them if they don't just tell him everything that's going on and why this happened, why they're so loyal to Mine, what she promised them. Personally, if I was Mine and I just had these group of soldiers go out and kill my sister, I'd promise them great riches and then basically just kill them as soon as they got back to the kingdom. I'd find a way to fake their deaths or send them on a dangerous mission and then just have them ambushed and killed by bandits or something. They're a loose end I cannot have talking. Alright, so, next week I'm definitely saying Shield Hero and Melty are leaving on their own journey. I mean, Melty's definitely going to be upset that her sister and possibly her father, though not likely, tried to have her killed, but I think she's going to just want to move on now and try to prove Shield Hero innocent and try to get peace with the kingdom. She was so immature in this episode, just absolutely insane, and I definitely think a journey throughout the kingdom with outer guards, seeing how real people live, seeing the horrible conditions they're in, could certainly help her become a better queen down the road, with Naofumi as her king. I don't ship them together, but I just want to be king, so even if their marriage is just political, I would still love to see that. Okay, so yeah, that's what's going to happen with them. They're going to Shield Freedom, which, like I said, has the word shield in it. So I'm assuming it was either founded by the Shield Hero, or they just love the Shield Hero there, and when they get there, everyone's just going to love him. They won't care that he has a kidnapped princess who's been accused of rape, or that he's basically a demon. I mean, the preview for next episode is Devil's Shield Hero, or something like that. So I'm going to assume it's either going to be him unlocking some new devil power, or losing control, or it's just going to be what they refer to him now as, that he's kidnapped the princess and has fled to a neighboring kingdom. So, yeah, I mean, on the other hand, though, the queen will probably know what happened here. Her guards probably weren't present when Mine tried to kill Melty, but I'm assuming they'll be able to find the Shield Hero, talk to him, and confirm that Melty is not being brainwashed, and then they can just go and tell the king, but for one reason or another, he won't believe them, or he's being blackmailed, so it won't matter anymore. Those are my thoughts on this episode. Honestly, it was probably the best episode of the season. Just seriously, he told the freaking king to bow to him and then threatened all of his guards. I love it. I absolutely loved it, Shield Hero. But yeah, I don't think the king's a bad guy. At least deep down. I think he's just been forced into a bad situation. So, alright, be sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below telling me what you think of the king. And until next time, peace.